Right. Am I live? Let's say yes. Tentatively. It's just me at the moment. I'm waiting for Trups. One of the bigger problems with starting at this time on a Thursday is that he will have just gotten home from work-ish at this point. So when he does get here, I'll add him to the set. If at all. If not, that's okay. We have at least 2 topics we can talk about, which I think are quite interesting, although there is a third I don't know as much about it. So, good evening to Globus, Lovebirds, Cyrene, Raymond, hello Karma, Peter, Cheerios Cheese, yes, Moochbag, hello Amber Alert, hello Divine Potato Judas, and Dominion Revelation. Hope you're all doing well. Why do you think US is recognising UFOs more recently? I don't know. I know there's a big hoopla going on about the Iran stuff. Does that count? Hello Annabelle, hope you're well. And Psychomegas and Anti. Let's go with that. I don't know the first part. Hello Crocker Squirrel. One of the things I'm hoping Trups will maybe know a bit about is that is the Iran related stuff. Because as far as I'm aware, the drone was in international water. Hello Twilight Creep. And it was shot down. But that's not what I want to talk about first. I figure as Trups isn't here, we should talk about the Tory leadership stuff going on right now. I'm just going to quickly go to the BBC website because I think they've got the video of the announcement. Right, let's pause that, full screen that, and switch here. Right, that's a terrible window capture because it doesn't have all the words. Right, how about I don't full screen it and see how bad it is? That's not very good, is it? No, we'll full screen it. It's fine. Okay, I'm going to put some earphones in because there will undoubtedly be some echo. So, give me a second. Right. Yes, so. Earphones are in. Do forgive me, I can't actually see you guys chatting. I do apologise. The chat has disappeared for a second. Yes, Iran is a real threat to corner the world market in pistachios. Did not know that. Everyone looks so happy. This is the 1922 council meeting. Probably, if I not full screen it for a second, there's 5 people here. They sit on the chair of the 1922 council and they announce the results, basically. Well, they do many other things, but that's what they do also. Trups is missing because I think either he's forgotten it's today or he's on his way home. I believe the latter. I'm in my stream chat, so hopefully if he does turn up, fantastic. If not, oh well. But yes, let's play this. This will be the announcement of what the current result is.
The total number of votes given to each candidate.
Why on earth is that only coming in through my right ear? What on earth have you done, BBC?
Were as follows.
My ear.
Michael Gove, 75.
Lol. Oh, spoiler. Sajid Javid has already been eliminated, which means a straight white male is the only person that can be elected Prime Minister.
Jeremy Hunt, 77.
Bye, Hunt. No, sorry, Gove. Hello, so psyched.
Boris Johnson, 160.
Which now means he commands a majority of the Conservative MPs. I should point that out. It's still not it's not enough, really. And doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of what's going to happen next. I was going to do a video on this for tomorrow, but I think this is actually a better setting.
We therefore declare that Jeremy Hunt and Boris Johnson are going forward to a vote of the qualifying membership of the Conservative and Unionist Party. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're done with that. So yes, it is going to be Boris Johnson against Jeremy Hunt. The problem here is it kind of like the track record, really. I would also want to point out the how the ballots have gone. So, leading up to this, the first ballot, Boris had 114. Michael Gove had 37, Jeremy Hunt 43. Okay. Let's skip ahead to the penultimate one, the fourth ballot. Boris Johnson has 157, Jeremy Hunt 59, Michael Gove 61. Somehow Jeremy Hunt turned it around with some of Sajid Javid's on the fifth ballot to overtake him. There are a number of articles about about their track record. For example, Hunt's been done a few times for breaching expense rules. That's fine. He has been in office many times. He's been the culture secretary, the shadow culture secretary, the shadow minister for disabled people, health secretary, now the foreign secretary, taken over from Boris Johnson. When he was the health secretary from 2012 to 2018, as many people know, he was in a rather long battle with the dreaded junior doctors, which led to quite a number of issues with pay. But when he was... Okay, so first of all, when he was the culture secretary, he was involved in the Olympics quite heavily and worked with Boris Johnson, the then mayor of London. He campaigned on the importance of tourism, and he doubled the budget for the Olympic and Paralympic ceremonies from 40 million to 81 million, which is cool. Hello, Dibula, hope you're well. Right. Participation in sport, when he was involved, did go up, which is good. But we should probably get down to the NHS funding problem.
Hello.
Oh, Jesus, you're here. Hello, Trups. Give me a sec. I need to unmute myself. Hello. Right. I'm going to keep talking. Shush.
What you do?
I'm already streaming. I'm already talking.
Oh, I know.
It's all good. It's all good. So, yeah. Jeremy Hunt was the health secretary from 2012 to 2018. He, when he was there, many point out that he was the face of the slowest period of investment in the NHS since its foundation, forgetting here that he had no damn choice. Austerity was implemented. It wasn't like there was much money left. Oh, and the chat says hello, Trups.
Hello, chat.
Yes, Prospero, time Dibula out. He's been very rude about tea. And hello, Prospero. It's Hunt spelt with a C, yes. Basically, the budget was reduced and the spending basically went up only by 1%, which wasn't great. But then, there was something else. There were targets. A&E targets were missed under Hunt to the tune of almost 85%, which is horrible. But the junior doctor battle, right. So, as well as many austerity measures, which would have included extending a cap on pay increases for the NHS staff, he was also criticised for how he handled junior doctors' contracts. Right. The contracts were essential to deliver a 7-day NHS, which was a pledge in the 2010 Conservative Manifesto. But to achieve this contract meant evenings and Saturdays would be considered normal rather than unsocial hours and would no longer be eligible for overtime pay. The NHS pay review body had at the time said that the cost of paying these unsocial hours put delivering 7-day NHS as an out-of-reach kind of target. Junior doctors, though, decided to tweet pictures of themselves working weekend and late shifts with the hashtag I'm in work, Jeremy. They trolled him. I loved it. Hang on, I have a picture of it. Do I have a picture of it? No, I do not. I have a different picture, though. So I'll put that on the screen for a second. No, that is a terrible picture. Let's try this one instead. There you go. But yes, they trolled him with that, which I thought was brilliant. There were a number of walkouts in 2016. On 2 of the strike days, emergency care wasn't even covered, which was the very first time this had ever happened in the history of the NHS, which is embarrassing to have on your record. Hello, Ashley, and Patriarch of the Sith, and Renovatio. I hope you're all well. And James, hello. When a new contract was imposed, after the BMA members rejected the deal, it then went on a bit further for Hunt to have to go on to secure funding increase for the NHS so as to appease them, to get them back to work. right? But he was involved in parity of esteem, so someone has... Hello, Nomo, hope you're well. One has to credit him for finally putting mental health as an important thing, but you have to shoot him down by pointing out he absolutely mistreated and abused the junior doctors. And I am going to have to rail on Boris in a second, so give me a minute. When he's Foreign Secretary, so Jeremy Hunt, as many may or may not know, is not married to a British person. Right. During an official state visit to China, he referred to his wife as Japanese. But no, she was born in Xi'an, in central China. He got that. I bet his wife beat the shit out of him for that. But yeah, that's the number 2 guy who got 77 votes. I should probably now address Boris. This one's gonna... Oh dear. Right, so he replaced Heseltine in 2001 in the safe seat of Henley-on-Thames. Right. Unlike most Tories, he was at the time more liberal, where he questioned the repeal of laws that banned the promotion of homosexuality. Basically, he was very much in favour of gay rights. I think he was made to apologise. What was it in? Oh yeah. He was a bit rude once or twice to people when he said that its residents in Liverpool wallowed in a disproportionate grief at the death of an engineer that was kidnapped and killed in Iraq. Right, that went well. Where was it? A year later, he resigned from his job as a writer for The Spectator, because he then became Shadow Higher Education Minister. But then he carried on writing for The Telegraph and had to make an apology to the whole country when he linked Papua New Guinea to cannibalism and chief killing. His mouth is his own undoing, by the way. Okay, it's brilliant. He took over from Ken Livingstone in 1928 as a mayor, and he served 2 full terms, which is the longest office position he's held, which is unsurprising. 8 years is quite a long time. It's the longest you get for your presidents, really, isn't it? Oh, unless they've served half a term, they could become a 3-term president technically, but only by 1 or 2 years. He does brag about his achievements. I'll list them off. 500,000 new jobs in London, 100,000 new affordable homes. He expanded the London living wage, improved air quality, knife crime was down 17%, murder rate down 50%, 235,000 new apprenticeships, 20,000 new trees, and council tax was down 10%, which is quite impressive. But there are the thing. Okay, so crime did fall from 22 per million to 12 per million during his time as mayor. However, it was also falling during his predecessor's second term anyway, Ken Livingstone's. So you can't really attribute any of the policies that helped or benefited him. Hello, Jane and Davey. You can't really attribute any of it to him because it's highly likely, like the Boris bikes, that it was entirely something that Ken Livingstone implemented. Yeah, the Boris bikes were actually Ken Livingstone's idea, and I have to keep saying it because it really bugs me. Homicide rates did fall as well, but they were also falling under Ken Livingstone as well. In fact, they fell quite drastically from 2003 down to 2008. They went down from 28 per million down to 20 per million, which is brilliant. Okay. There was an increase of affordable houses, but the cost of living kind of... Jesus, that was loud. What the hell was that? Nothing popped. Let's pretend that was nothing. He scrapped the bendy buses, which is brilliant because the problem with London, and many people don't realise this, is that London is built... It's not... The city was never designed for cars and was never adapted for cars. The roads, a lot of them are so narrow there's no way you're going to get a bendy bus through. So it was right to get rid of them in certain areas of London. He did reintroduce other buses and old lines, but it's kind of one of those really weird things. Where's the oh yeah, he wanted. Okay, so he saw a plan. He did build a thing over River Thames, which was quite nice, a new garden bridge, but it got cancelled because of the cost, which is a shame. When he was Foreign Secretary, after he won a new seat in Uxbridge and South Ruislip, he declared he wanted to expand his opposition to the expansion of Heathrow Airport, and that he would lie in front of bulldozers. But on the day it was voted on, he didn't even turn up for the vote against it. He abstained, which I remember because I did a PMQ and it cropped up. Okay. He, where was it? Where is it? Oh yeah, he ran in the 2015 leadership campaign, but he got stabbed in the back by the Sneck, who came third. And, yeah, that didn't work out so well for Gove either, since the Sneck is out as well now, which is brilliant. I think that's kind of like, that's like the coup de grace for Boris Johnson in a way, because many have believed that Boris had something to do with Gove losing anyway, this time round, not last time. Johnson again keeps cropping up over and over again, because even though he's been Foreign Secretary, he keeps on dropping himself in trouble for saying things about cities. To the point where some people have been paid as much as £1,000 in damages because of what he does. He does support a tough line against Russia, which after the Sergei Skripal and his daughter poisoning stuff, yeah, I'm not surprised. Where was it? Yeah, okay, so there was a statement where he had to apologise in Parliament because he had misled the Commons by saying that a British Iranian national who was jailed in Iran, who claimed she'd been on holiday, he said that she was a journalist that had been teaching journalists in Iran, which got him into trouble. What was it? Right. He's also being accused of being involved in proxy wars in the Middle East. He allowed sales of UK arms to Saudi Arabia, which were involved in military action in Yemen. And of course, his most controversial... Middle East thing, I guess. Comparing women who are wearing the burqa to looking like letterboxes. Right. But the final thing, I guess the one thing everyone hates so much about him is Brexit. Because he is the face of it. Not Nigel Farage. Because Nigel Farage is an EU... he's an MEP, so no real power in UK Parliament. Boris Johnson is the face of UK politics for Brexit. He attacks the EU all the time. He said that he was pro having cake and pro eating it. Right? He spoke of the benefits, though, of being in a single market, but also campaigned to get us out, which I thought was brilliant. And yeah, he did compare them to letterboxes, actually. He really did. Hello, Mini Lisper. In an article in 2013, he weighed up the pros and cons of being in the EU, saying that leaving would not solve the UK's problems. Right? But he campaigned for us to leave anyway. He even got someone tried to take him to court recently to try and get him to justify the £350 million claim. I believe in his resignation letter, if I remember correctly, he described the deal of the UK as a status of a colony, which was the resignation he handed over when he was Foreign Secretary. And he does believe that if elected Prime Minister, we would leave by the 31st of October with or without a deal. Which is good news. This does mean we've got Jeremy Hunt, Boris Johnson, both of whom have said 31st is the final date. That's it. Game over. But one of them will not accept the idea of no deal. One will accept it. Of those voting MPs, the 313 Conservative MPs, one ballot was spoiled, all the rest were accounted for. This now goes to 160,000 people who are members of the Conservative Party. They now decide if they want Jeremy Hunt or Boris Johnson. And the winner will be announced on or just after the 22nd of July. We have a month. a whole damn month before we find out who wins, which is fine. These two need to campaign. I get it. We then get to hear more people in Parliament accuse Boris Johnson of being racist again, which is going to be absolutely glorious. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy watching that. There was... where was it? Oh, yes. So, Rory Stewart, the man who came 5th, he has launched an entryist takeover bid with a call for his 300,000 supporters to join the Tory party and force them back to the centre as he hosts a losers' rally. Problem here is, it's all again having these supporters, but at this point they're like Facebook friends on an invite. Might attend, but basically don't. You lost. Your party isn't really centre, it's just to the right. It's always been that way. And you're not going to manage to appease them if someone like Boris commands the majority of them. Ooh, but 300,000 new members. Cool. You're not going to drive them back to the centre though, because now you've only got two choices. Boris Johnson or Jeremy Hunt. So, care to explain that one? No? Hello, Ginger. Hope you're well. Anyway, yes, so this is going to make a rather interesting campaign. I'll certainly be making videos on this channel, which is great, because this is the best material ever, really. Jeremy Hunt, a guy who stabbed the junior doctors in the back, or Boris Johnson, who annoys at least 16.4 million people. It's a tough one. And he's annoyed everyone around the world with some of the things he's said, which is brilliant. And just because it's out there, I should say, at this point, I would choose Boris because it will make my streams more interesting. I would love to see how he interacts with Corbyn. I do think if it's Jeremy Hunt against Corbyn, Corbyn actually stands a chance. Not because Jeremy Hunt's not smart. Jeremy Hunt is incredibly smart, very witty, but he's very, very clean-cut and a typical politician. Something we all saw. We all saw it on the what was that? Sorry, we all saw this on the BBC debate, and it was absolutely tragic. Not a single person could give an answer, including Jeremy Hunt and Boris Johnson. It was embarrassing for me. Hello, Swan and Faith. Hope you're well. I think going forward, if they intend to use these two, I hope to see debates, but with a proper format, a US one, preferably. Because honestly, at this point, a BBC format was trash. Can you imagine doing a presidential campaign, debate style on what the BBC did, where you got audience members to ask the questions, right? And they had no one to moderate the conversation. It would be absolute carnage. And it was for us, with people jockeying for the position of Prime Minister who all looked like they couldn't command a room. Which is just tragic, really. So if they do any more debates, I kind of hope they do a debate with a bit more, I don't know. Let's go with professionalism. That works. How are you, Trups?
I'm good. How are you?
Glorious. Hello, Dr. Cap. How have you been?
You know, the overtime thing is finally getting a little bit tedious, but the good news is that well, my birthday is in 2 days, and I'm flying home, to see my family this weekend.
Well, that's awesome. I hope you have a lovely, lovely birthday.
I'm going axe throwing.
So no, then. Cool.
No, I'm going to have a great time. The funniest part is going to be when Ash, my fiance, tries and throws it too.
Does she have a really weak arm for throwing?
I don't know if she has a really weak arm for throwing. I've never seen her throw an axe.
Well, there are two techniques, or three technically, because I've done it before. You can either underarm it. Oh, okay, that actually worked. Thank you, Karma. Put this towards a new Buzz Lightyear. Duly noted. That's half the cost of my Buzz Lightyear covered then. You have to watch today's video to understand that story. With axe throwing, so the three I learnt, one was underarm, where you could be a bit more casual with your wrist. It didn't put as much pressure on your arm. One was with both hands over your back, but don't do that. And the third was obviously line up with the shoulder and throw forward. But I've seen a few people do the both hands over their back thing, which is hilarious, especially when they just throw it and it bounces into the floor. It's glorious.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with like the single spin attempt, because if you try and like make it a movie where you're just kind of like going over and over the top of yourself, you're just gonna fuck up and it's gonna be embarrassing.
There are some casual.
Don't try to be fancy.
It does depend on the weight of the axes, I guess, as well.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite sure what it's like. I just know that my mom had texted me as we were figuring out this stuff, like some month ago. She was like, "Hey, for your birthday, do you want to go axe throwing?" And I thought to myself,
Power
8 a.m.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, I would too, to be honest. That's cool. Yes. What do you think about this? You probably haven't kept up with this. But what do you think of the UK prime ministerial kind of campaign going on?
So I've actually been watching quite a bit because, well, half the people I watch on YouTube are British.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. But I've actually been interested because how Boris plays the prime ministership is very, it's not like Trump, where he can just come right in like
blasé,
dick swinging, hitting people in the face or anything like that. He needs to be very tactful with how he presents or does not present himself.
He has to, because he's opened his mouth so many times, and as you heard me say, he's put his foot in his mouth so many times. He's had to play a minimalist. He has not done interviews. He's only done one debate, and it went badly. But the thing for him then was that it went so badly for everyone else. No one really noticed how bad it was for him, because whenever he went to speak, everyone spoke over him, which made him look good. But because he never actually could give a direct answer to anything, he looked bad at the same time. And I say that as someone, I was trying to be neutral when I watched it. He didn't look good, but it was very amusing.
But he's kind of forced into this position, and but other than that, like who was the guy who just had a interview, Dominic Raab, about feminism?
Mm-hmm.
I fucking loved that. I was like, I don't know how your government works as much, but I was just like, I don't know who he is, but if he were running, or even if he's not running, I hope Boris gives him a position, because that's some
I think
that's some charisma that you need.
So I think Raab will get a position in the cabinet. I think he will because he put his weight behind Boris. I don't think Gove will. I think Gove will be sent to the backbenches as punishment, but he does command support, so maybe if Hunt loses to Boris, I think Boris will still offer him a cabinet position because of his experience as Health Secretary, Foreign Secretary, and Culture Secretary. His experience is far too great. Gove's experience as well, but Boris fucking hates him.
I was going to say, isn't Gove a dickhead, though?
Oh, Gove is a snack. We don't like snacks.
Snack?
He's a snack. We don't deal with snacks.
No, that's an insult to snacks. I like snakes.
I do too, but this snack. I said snack, not snake. He's not a snake, he's a snack.
Yeah, but snakes are even cuter than snakes. I would rather just call him a snake.
Nah, he's a different type of. He's a bad snack. This is the one. This is the one you step on.
Oh, naughty snack.
We step on snack. We don't deal with him. He's a snack Sith Lord.
Of course, yes. Let's just combine all the things.
He's
a Nazi.
I wouldn't
he's a Nazi.
I wouldn't go that.
Snake.
I'm sorry, you went too far. You took that too far, man. You just took it too far.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so used to that. Isn't that just the common insult?
It is, yes. No, he's not. He's not really a bad person, but he's just. He's such a twat. But yeah, if Boris does want to command a majority within his own party, he'll need Gove and he'll need Hunt. He might need Sajid Javid, actually. He's not so bad.
But isn't Javid like flip-flop with all his positions?
He is. Which is why he might need him Might not. But then, new band name, Nasty Snack. Yes. Gove's your MP, James. Get fucked. Mine's Charlie Elphick. He's neutral. He's nothing. He was pro-Brexit. He's been involved in some accusations of sexual harassment. All of them debunked. The guy was innocent.
At this point, who hasn't had an accusation thrown at them?
Me, but only because you refused to tell on me. Giggity.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do this. No, but
right now.
But with Johnson, I think he does have a chance. But now this is actually open because the MPs have voted one way, but they don't vote the same way the people do. Hunt could still win this, I think. But women never lie. Indeed, yes, you're quite right. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
If women never lie, do gay men lie?
Never.
Weird. Yeah, they will tell you that your ass looks fat in those pants. So yeah, they don't lie.
Now
Tell that to my ex. Yo, dude, same. But like no. But
Omegon versus Trump like dog fights Pikachu? No, we don't do that.
No, I don't appreciate dog fights. That's bad.
Yeah, like drugs.
But I will Pokemon battle you.
I have 4 Pokeballs above my head. I will throw all of them. I'll throw them all at your face.
Oh well, that's not Pokemon battling.
It's not?
I mean, it's effective, but that's not how you battle.
But I'm putting my balls in your face. I thought that's what you liked.
All 4 of them.
All 4 of them. Giggity.
Jesus.
Well, we've gotten way off topic. Shall we just move on to something else?
Yeah, right?
Okay, I'm going to press play on a video of Donald Trump announcing his 2020 re-election campaign. Should we talk about that for a bit?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll press play. It's a minute long. I'm just going to let it play through.
Of heart and might and sweat and soul, we're going to keep making America great again. And then we will indeed keep America great. And we will keep it so great. Better than ever before.
Fuck you,
We're
Ad.
going to keep it better than ever before. And that is why tonight I stand before you to officially launch my campaign for a second term as President of the United States. Thank you.
I'm going to pause it there and go back to us because, okay, so I did a little digging and I found out that technically this isn't the first time he's announced it to an extent because he had to have okay, where is it written down? I've written it down. Come on, where are you? Oh yeah, so this is the wrong thing. No, it's not. Yes, no, it's fine. So he actually filed the paperwork for the 2020 campaign in January of 2017. Just saying.
He had confidence.
Yeah. He technically announced it 2.5 years ago. Hello, Wandering Lisa. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. So it's not really a surprise, but at the same time, I think so the rather interesting information I did find out is that, okay, we know so far the DNC only has one legitimate contender, and even he is not a legitimate contender to challenge and I'm going to air quote this, the God Emperor. Okay?
Yeah, good.
Early polls, though, and they're all, guess where they come from, show that he placed Donald Trump behind some of the DNC challengers. Guess where the polls came from?
Is it either CNN, the Young Turks, or Pew?
The very first one.
Ooh, nailed it.
Yeah. In his speech, he did declare that the Democrats want to keep illegal aliens or legalize them so as to boost their voter base, which is something you and I have discussed.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic that it keeps coming up because is there any truth to it? Thank you, Karma. I'll order Buzz Lightyear now. Right, yeah, so do you think there's any legitimacy to the claim that the Democrats are trying to keep legalize illegal aliens as a voter base or give them voting rights?
I don't think so. Not after yesterday.
So what happened
Or yeah.
yesterday? Because I think I
So
know.
yesterday,
I think I know what it was because I heard it
right?
in passing from I think Sticks. But go on.
The Democrats finally approved legislation for technically what the wording was federal aid to aid the border crisis.
How much was this, Trubs?
$4.6 billion,
So
Meg.
hang on, that sounds really familiar. Where have I heard that number before, Trubs?
Are you quoting me?
I watched your video.
Oh, thank you. You like that?
Yeah, it's quite nice that it cropped up. I was watching it before we started, actually. I was like,
Oh, great.
this is really handy.
Yeah, isn't it?
They flipped. It's
Fucking
brilliant. Oh, link to Trubs' channel. Go watch
Trump. Yeah, Trump had just put out a request in a month ago for $4.5 billion, and they were like, "Nah, we don't think we're gonna give it to you." Until 2 days ago, when Trump said that he was going to do millions of illegal immigrants deported out of the country, at which point the Democrats went, maybe we should give them the money.
it. I was wondering if perhaps there'd be a another shutdown or another like the previous one we had issues with.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was a while.
that might come up again, but it didn't, did it?
No,
Oh,
no,
this
no,
is
no.
actually. I mean, I'm sat back and I am loving that they kowtowed because now they look weak.
They gave it to him. They literally folded.
The thing is, they folded on the small amount as well. You know what that means? He can take an inch.
Oh, he'll take a mile.
Exactly. Oh, sorry, he's taken an inch. He's going to take a mile. You're quite right. Thank you for the correction. It's really embarrassing for them because they're now absolutely... No, I don't want to say they're screwed, but you've just given him what he wanted. Wasn't there a quote from Pelosi about this? About illegal...
Probably.
No, she was trying to downplay it.
Oh, when he said that he used the Oval Office as like a backdrop for a manufactured crisis.
Thank you.
Oh, it wasn't too long ago since I recorded that video. I think I still remember a lot of the lines.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, you script, don't you?
I do, because I will stutter and tangent rant for half my videos.
I'll have to show you a picture of the notebook I use. I stick with a Pritt stick because the glue is rubbish. I stick post-it notes in mine. I write it on the page, and then I'll put numbers, and I'll put post-its all over the page with notes, and then I record, and you'll sometimes hear of me flipping the post-it to read.
Oh, well, I mean, to be honest, like, it's not like I don't script exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I read a story and I write down everything I'm thinking because it's just easier to then read my thoughts than it is to recollect all my thoughts.
I'm a bit of the opposite, but I write enough down that I know the flow, the plot, the structure. Hello, Jonas. Hope you're well.
Right, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so we know the DNC have now essentially flipped on this issue. That much is true, yes?
Yep, they approved the 4.6 billion according to Politico. I just actually sent I didn't. I sent the other thing.
You sent me something?
I posted it in sources.
Oh, sorry. Yep, I would not have noticed.
The measure passed with a 30-1 vote in the Senate Appropriations
Committee. Is it the first
Committee.
one or the second one?
Second one.
Politico. Right, I will pull that up for everyone to look at.
Politico, for all those in the UK, is a right-leaning news source.
Yeah, it's
full transparent.
It's like totes bias, everyone. Window capture. Oh, you're just not going to show? Okay, cool. Oh, I know why. You're there. But that's just rubbish. Don't mind me. I'm there, but no, I'm having an issue with the stupid overlay. Screw it.
I understand.
But yes, 4.6 billion. Not bad.
Yeah.
30 to 1.
0.1 billion more than he asked.
Only Oregon's Democrat Senator Jeff Merkley. Who's Jeff Merkley? Do we know?
Probably some soy boy.
Do you want to check his Twitter and find out?
Yeah, sure. If I find his pronouns, then I'll let you know.
Okay,
Hold
so
on.
the bulk of the funds, 2.9 billion, would fund the Health and Human Services Department's program to house and care for unaccompanied children. In addition, it would devote 793 million to improved conditions at Customs and Border Protection. So nothing for the border itself, like a wall. Well, there may be something there for the wall, but it's not really much.
Okay, so his Twitter is actually husband, dad, garage tinkerer, thorn in the side of the privileged and powerful, U.S. Senator from Oregon, no corporate PAC money, fighting for you.
He's a US senator on a six-figure salary with expenses that more than likely pay his house off within a couple years. He is the powerful.
I was going to say, he's an elected official, and he legislates the laws in which we must follow. He is quite powerful.
Yeah, I leg to stand on. You don't have one, my friend. Let's pull. He's been a senator.
Doing pretty well in Special Olympics, though.
He's been a senator for 10 years. There's no way this guy is not, one of the powerful elites.
Got at least $1 million in net gain.
I will say though, at 62,
Gross gain.
At 62, he doesn't look too bad for his age.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I know, surgery. Congratulations. So, what's going to happen with this funding? Is it now going to be freed up, or is it going to go through some appropriations or some nonsense?
So, according to the article, it says the bulk of the funds, 2.9 billion, will fund the Health and Human Services Department program to house and care for the unaccompanied children.
Yeah, along with the 700 million for something else that I mentioned. Yeah.
And I imagine the rest of it will probably go to funding the upgrades to the border, whether that be wall or drones or whatever. So that's like,
well, they need a new drone, don't they? So
yeah, but that's not a new story. Iran's been doing that for a while.
Yeah, but those drones aren't cheap.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing, because Iran usually knocks down our drones and then re-engineers or reverse engineers our shit. That's how they get their drones. They steal ours.
It's been a long-running thieving pirates. Somalians need to up their game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't heard from them in a while. Oh wait, they've invaded.
Well, now we know.
Poor Australia.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Rip. Press F for respect for Australia and for my Buzz Lightyear.
Yep, it's okay. I hear some people don't believe Australia is a real place.
Is it?
I don't know.
I would go there.
I only know of like a couple people from there.
Okay, I would go there and find out myself, but it does sound like a lot of effort, and I hear it's quite warm even when it's quite cold.
Also, have you seen the? We'll go with the nasty snacks. Have you seen the nasty snacks down there?
I've seen some pictures on Twitter. Yes,
They
look like nice little
one on Facebook.
They look like nice
Snake
worms.
Crocodile.
They look okay. I've seen bigger.
Lol.
Anywho's. By the way, I only had those 3 topics. I have absolutely nothing else.
Oh, well, one of the things that I wanted to mention was during that rally that Trump had announced, quote unquote,
the hour-long video there is of that.
Yeah. Well, he raised $24.8 million in less than 24 hours.
But he doesn't need to raise anything.
No, but isn't that great that people want to give him money to do things? That is a really good show of support.
I think it'd be very interesting to see if he uses it for that or if he just donates it to charity.
Well, he donates salary to charity. I don't know if he would. I don't think he's allowed to donate.
What happens to money for campaigns then when the campaigns are over?
I believe they're given to the re-election campaign, or then they're appropriated by the party.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure. That one's actually one I've never been asked before.
Saw that prosper. I'd give it to charity personally, but if you could, I think that would make him look even better. Or if he instead said, right, well, you've donated this, I will match it and give that to charity. People will still say to him, you're a right-wing Nazi scum. But
actually, that's a pretty good one. I like that. a lot of companies actually will do that when they do their promotions for certain charities. So it's always nice to see those kind of things.
I think so.
St. Jude's is always one that I can't not donate to.
You mean the one that last year rejected money from the kill stream?
Yeah, but that was only because everyone else bitched.
Yeah, the optics of that was bad.
That was it, though.
I still
Otherwise,
stand by the position I gave, where I said outright that the money should have been accepted.
I mean, the money goes to children with cancer.
Exactly.
Like,
Doesn't matter
that's
where it
the
comes
end
from.
of it. If there's any other argument, then you're a fucking asshole.
I honestly, and people gave me the reductio ad absurdums with analogies of, well, what if a Grand Wizard of the KKK in full uniform turned up and handed cash over to the charity? Would you accept it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I'd set light to the top of his little pillowcase and tell him to walk away.
I wouldn't even do that. I would say, thank you for your contribution and fucking let him leave. Because I don't care if you're the worst person in the world. You're giving to a charity that ends up helping other people. I don't care if you're a drug dealer personally responsible for thousands of deaths.
I'm with you. And this is why I find it so irritating that so many people took the side of, the charity was right to reject it because politics. No, all of you are wrong. I respected so many of the creators, and then I saw all the people I really respected take that side because it was Ralph. And I'm like, no, you've got to be kidding me.
Nah, it's fucking bullshit.
Okay, the guy is a drunk and he's got issues right now, and I'm not going to rail on him for any of that crap. Charity money is charity money. I don't care where it comes from. Money's money. Exactly. Money is amoral, but apparently we can slap morality onto it. You know, depending on whose face is on it and what colour the note is and what it's made of. Oh, and what your political leaning the person holding it is. We don't...
Right? Actually, think about this one, right? Because Sean brought up an interesting point. You take KKK money and say poor black children with it. What if a person in full KKK, garb went to the NAACP and said, "Here's a check for $250,000. Black children, this is for you.
Right.
Do with as you please," and leaves. What the fuck would you do? Would you call him a racist?
Well, he's still a racist, but I take the money.
But is he though?
I don't know.
Because I don't think he is.
I think
gave money to that.
I think I need the context of why he had to.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Because he might have been just like, "Can you just do me a favor and put that check in there for me?" If it came from him, no, I don't think he's a racist anymore. But he might want to reconsider his membership.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair. But that's my point. My point is
I do agree with your point though, because I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Right. So it just doesn't matter if you're fucking doing charitable work, because basically what money really boils down to is the promise that your patronage or your product is worth the thing that you're handing the other person.
Yeah.
Because even if because I get so pissed off at anarcho-capitalists or anarcho-fucking communists because I actually know some people from college personally who are like this, and I'm like, you understand, money, even if money didn't exist in how we know it today, people would still trade goods for the equivalent exchange.
Well, yeah, how you determine that value is what really intrigues me.
Right, and the one I like to give the example of is, okay, well, I have a donkey and I have a farm, and I need the blacksmith to shoe my donkey so that I can keep working. I might give him some food that I have farmed in exchange for his work on my donkey.
Okay. Hello, Neela. Hope you're well. And yes, please smash the like button. I'd very much like it to be equal to the number of watchers. That'd be amazing. If only just to stroke my ego, mostly.
And mine.
Yeah, go sub to Traps as well, please.
Yay! But no, that's my thought. And honestly, I don't care where the money goes, but if you think that thing that you're paying is worth the money you're giving, I don't care.
Did you make a video on this when it all happened?
Which one?
The St. Jude's charity stuff.
No, I actually I had not come into the YouTube sphere again until the beginning of 2017.
Right. I know it wasn't. I thought it was last year.
It might have been. I know it was January.
Yeah, probably before we even started doing our show together.
Oh, guaranteed. No, I had started a little bit before. Actually, I had started on not Vimeo. It was another one.
Daily
it was another
Motion, VidMe.
VidMe. I started
Oh,
on VidMe because I didn't want to necessarily go on YouTube.
Bastards still owe me money. The bastards. I was earning money on that through donations, and they never paid me for that. I think they owe me like
I think they went under. I don't think they can pay anybody.
I don't care. I expect at least them to deliver some pizzas so I can give it to my sisters and nieces.
Yeah, at least. I mean, you could take a class action lawsuit and probably win.
Sounds like effort.
But you'd have to find the entity to fucking...
To get back on Trump, because I think there's something I forgot to ask about this. Right, so he's announced his re-election campaign. How was that received? Like, obviously,
apparently with 24.8
yeah,
million.
I mean, response from the DNC.
They kind of expected that.
Right. So I assume they're just going to play the tactics of old and try and push what they were trying to push before, which is fundamentally against what most Democrats would want anyway.
Yeah, I would say that's true, except for the one weird moment where they decided, you know what, borders are important.
Yeah, but that's oddly enough something they supported when they were in office.
Yeah, remember? when they were what was it 2012, 2008, 2009, basically all through Obama's presidency.
It's party
politics. Yeah, they were pretty good on borders, huh?
It's party politics. Oh look, but the red people say this. Yeah, but we don't like them.
But did you catch that part of the video where the one I had made yesterday, where one of the fucking Democratic representatives, there's the word, that's the one, he still blamed Trump for the fact that there was a border crisis. He goes, well, I don't think it was manufactured, but Trump totally didn't help.
Yep.
And I was like, you fucking what? Are you kidding me?
You didn't say it right.
What's he gonna do?
You fucking what, mate?
You fucking what, mate?
Pretty much it. No. Oh, that's close. I like that.
No, thank you. I've been working on it.
That's good.
After all, there is something coming out tomorrow.
I did like I saw a video on Twitter, and it was in a committee thing. Someone said that while no one in this room lived through slavery, they are responsible for those who they're responsible for something equivalent to paying those who, while themselves may not have lived through it. Yeah, it was a reparations thing, saying that people should now pay back for something that happened that didn't affect anyone in the room.
Did you see the reporter from Quillette?
No.
Respond to that so it was 2 days ago, I think it was, where the Senate had heard a thing on reparations.
Okay.
And a black journalist from Quillette basically said that there is absolutely no reason why black people deserve reparations, because he is a person who was not born into slavery, was not born into Jim Crow, was born into a family that did suffer under both slavery and Jim Crow, but he was born into a privileged house. He goes to an Ivy League school. To give him money and to not give a other person money, even if they are in a worse situation, is racist.
Oh dear.
And plain straight up wrong. After he was done giving his 12-minute speech, whatever, he got fucking booed.
Lol.
I was fucking pissed. I was like, what are you guys, are you so fucking greedy that you're like, oh, I want the money? Get the fuck out of here.
That's tragic.
It is, because it's not all anything. It's not all Democrats, it's not all black people, it's not all black Democrats. Because the guy isn't even a Democrat and he's not a Republican. He's a centrist who just believes that people should be taken care of.
The reparations argument that keeps coming up. How much are they? I've never bothered to find this out. Hello, Lulu Bell. How much are they actually after? And is it possible to even pay them that?
So they've estimated several different numbers, but basically what it came down to was about $6,000 a person. And that was several $1 trillion. That's
a lot of money.
So no, it's not possible.
That's a lot of money, even though at the same time it's not a lot of money.
It's a lot of money when you think about it, but broken down into individual, No,
I
no one gets.
I was expecting that to be like 600,000 per person or something. Like, give them
That
enough
would
to live on
be
for life or
in
something
some
stupid.
egregious amount of like money.
I'm sure that many within the communities that are affected, they'd be like $1 million or nada, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, that's right. We are now officially Kangs." But at the same time, would that do? It's not. It's not really much, in retrospect, for each individual person. So I can't imagine for a second this would actually appease anyone. They'd probably then say, "Well, now we got the $6,000. Let's put a zero on it." I'm very
Yeah,
interested to see what
right.
happens.
It's not possible though, because like I think it was I forget which Democratic politician, but some of them was talking like, oh, we'll allocate like several like tens of trillions of dollars to reparations, and somebody did the math and it was like that only comes out to like $2,000 a person.
Oh dear.
I'm
This will
trying to
not.
find it right now, but
That will not appease the NAACP or anything like that. Any other minority group, it won't help them. $6,000. That to me, by the way, is a part-time salary in this country. It's like what I earn doing my cleaning work a year, which isn't bad really. But the money here goes further, and cost of living is a little bit different here. Depending on the state you live in as well, the cost of living is going to be vastly different. $6,000 in one state could go further than it could in another state.
okay. So I just did some preliminary stuff. So out of the black population and this is a fucking breakdown of Hispanic and Latino Americans by race, just 1 million black people,
Mm-hmm.
right? If each one of them was to get $6,000,
Yep.
that would be over $7 billion.
Okay.
So if we went with the actual percentage of the U.S. population that identified as black, I think we're looking at some bullshit number.
Fam, everyone's going to identify black just to see how much they can screw with the system. I'll be honest. Okay, so there is an obvious issue now that arises when it comes to tracing lineage, especially for those who aren't affected but lie about it. They'd have to do some really extensive background checks on everyone to make sure they qualify. That could cause issues. Don't you think?
Oh, without a doubt. Like, there's no fucking way.
Okay, this is not going to happen. I have nothing else, by the way, to talk about. Is there anything you'd like to talk about, or are we done?
No, I've been pretty much beat all this week. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry
don't
for being
apologize.
late.
You're all good.
But no, I mean I put out a couple of videos on my channel this week. The first one was on, I think it was on Anita Sarkeesian and Feminist Frequency on E3, because that was fun.
So I heard.
And then yesterday's was the Democrats deciding to realize that borders were okay. I actually quite enjoyed making the video yesterday. I memed on it a little harder than normal.
Good.
So if you guys want to go and check that out.
I'm sorry you missed it, Michael Morrison. Hello to Michael and somebody else in the chat I saw. Troll with a purpose. Is that you, Saki? Yes, so I think we're done. I will have a video up on this channel tomorrow. I'm going to be I'm going to have a video on the main channel as well tomorrow, but it doesn't matter. I've got lots of things to do tomorrow, actually, in hindsight. I think we're done. Okay.
Oh, and there's a video coming out on Moisky Reads tomorrow.
Yeah, that is tomorrow as well.
And
yeah,
y'all maybe want to go check that one out in particular. Wink, wink, nudge,
of course. Trups does some voice work for the one that's on the Moisky Read channel tomorrow. Yeah, right. Yeah. Shill.
Come on.
Shill.
Yeah, I'm shilling you by shilling me.
Yeah, shill. Good night, everyone. Say good night, Trups.
Good night, Trups.
Yeah.